Hello everyone. Let's start the lesson on writing effective summaries while citing others' works. We will begin with what summary is, why it is important in citing others' works, and then move on to rules for and steps to writing summaries. We will then have the practice and quiz in the end to check our learning. So, what is a summary, and why is summary important in citing others' works? A summary is a concise paraphrase of all the main ideas in the source we cite. Usually, the length of a summary is no more than 1/3 the length of the source. An effective summary is important because it can help us distinguish our ideas from the ideas in the source that we cite. It can also demonstrate our ability in presenting our point. Now, let's look at the major rules for writing summaries. First of all, the summary should cover the source as a whole, rather than a mix of quotations. Secondly, the summary should be presented in a neutral tone. In addition, the summary should be a condensed version of the source in our own words. Finally, it's important to refer to the source when writing the summary. With the rules in mind, now let's go through the steps to writing effective summaries. The first step is skimming the source for the author's tone or attitude and main point. When we skim, we read the first and last paragraphs, as well as the first and last sentences of each body paragraph, because these are often the places where the author expresses his or her tone and main point. For example, in the first paragraph of the article, The Power of Genetic Testing, keywords such as unique opportunity and most amazing advances certainly jump out at us. Then, when we read the sentences where these keywords are, the author's tone and main point become clearer. So, what is the author's tone or attitude towards genetic testing? Obviously, it's positive because of the word amazing, and the main point is also clearly stated, as shown in the example. After the main point is identified, the next step is to rewrite the main point in our own words. To avoid copying words from the source, it's better to note down just the keywords. As the example shows, all the keywords from the source are kept, so we only need to put them in our own words. Next, outlining main ideas and major supports for a summary is also important, because it helps us recognize how the author communicates ideas, that is, making a point with supports. To outline, we can skim the first and last sentences of body paragraphs for main ideas, meanwhile differentiating major supports from minor details with the help of signal words. For example, in this body paragraph, the first sentence is the topic sentence that states the main idea of the paragraph, which is the chance to lead a healthier life. So in the top space of the outline, we can write down the main idea in our own words. With this main idea, the next step is to find the supports. So in this paragraph, the author actually includes a stronger support for the main idea, which is a research study conducted at Johns Hopkins University. Thus in the summary, we can include major supports, along with the statistical evidences, 58% for learning health information, 34% for more careful, and 14% for exercising more. Now this is the outline we have for the paragraph, which contains only the main idea and major supports. Next, with the help of the outline, we can now be more confident in crafting a statement to introduce the source in our summary. This statement should refer to the title of the source, the author's last name, and the publication year. Also, we need a reporting verb to report on the author's tone and main point. For example, from our reading, we know that the author seems rather positive about the power of genetic testing, so we can use a strong reporting verb such as argue to express our interpretation of the author's tone, followed up by the author's main point in our own words. The last step then is to organize all the ideas in the same order as the outline and connect the ideas with transitions or appropriate reporting verbs which can present the tone or attitude, so our summary can follow a logic flow as shown in this sample summary. Now, let's practice what we have learned. For the first practice, read the passage and choose the better summary for the passage. Choice B is the better summary because it does not copy the exact wording from the source, nor does it include minor details. Next, complete the introduction of the summary with the most appropriate reporting verb. The answer is C, assert, because from the keywords in the summary, we can identify the author's strong tone in favor of international college education. In this case, assert is the most appropriate reporting verb. Now let's check how much we've learned. Here comes the first question. What are the rules for writing summaries? Rule number 2, present in the neutral tone. Rule number 3, create a condensed version. And rule number 5, identify the source. Next question. What should be included when introducing the summary? The answers are the title of the source, the author's main point, and a reporting verb. Now let's review our lesson on writing summaries for referencing and citing. These rules are important guidelines when writing summaries. Source as a whole, neutral tone, condensed, in our own words, and source identified. Also, these steps will help us write effective summaries. Thanks for joining us for the lesson. This online course is funded by the Ministry of Education.